Hey y'all, what's up? It's your girl. Ooh, let's do this again. Y'all, what's up? It's your girl, Sheree P, and we back with season 1, episode 2. Now, I'm debating on if I should go through every single episode in each season because 6 seasons, I believe. It's either 5 or 6 seasons. And it's like 20-something episodes each season. So I don't know if I'm going to do every single episode. But I might not. So, you know. But today we're going to do episode 2 because I think that it's important to talk about. A lot of people are still dealing with this issue of fat phobia. And when you're a BBW or you're someone who's looks a certain way, voluptuous, whatever you want to call it, people discriminate against you, and people automatically assume that you're fat because you're lazy, you don't work out, you know, all you do is sit around and eat all day. And sometimes that is the truth, but mental health and other health issues play a part in it. Some people get diagnosed with conditions and it makes it extremely hard for them to lose weight. There are plenty of people that look overweight but are active. And, you know, they just, all the crap that they put in our food today, the microplastics, and it's so much stuff and additives that's put into our food that blocks certain things in our bodies and prevents us from losing weight sometimes. Me, naturally, I've always been on the thicker side. And when I was growing up, I grew up in the early 2000s. I was always told that I was the big one. Like, this is crazy. Like, and if you see me in person, you'd be like, you don't look that big. I've definitely gained weight since high school, but the point I'm trying to make is I thought I was big, and I'm looking back at my pictures and I was fine. But because I wasn't a size 2, because I didn't have a 6-pack or a flat belly, I had broad shoulders, big boobs, a little pudge in my stomach, and the way we wore our jeans in the early 2000s, if you ain't have a big booty that you could see from a mile away, the jeans that we wore, it made our butts look small. So I never felt insecure about my butt. I never really felt insecure about anything. I mean, people used to say things about me. People used to talk about how big my hands were and talk about my nose and talk about how my voice was deep and call me mannish and all the things. And I'm like, damn, like, okay, I'm mannish. Now what? You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I supposed to do because you feel like I look like a man? You know what I'm saying? I do look like my dad, so I guess in that sense they're correct. But I felt bad, but I never felt bad to the point where, you know, I had to go on like a fad diet or I wanted to get surgery or something like that. Now I look back and realize that I wish I would have, even though I didn't feel insecure when they would say things like that, I still wish I would have been kinder to myself. I wish I would have had more confidence as far as like doing the things that I'm good at doing, period. Because when people see that you are confident within yourself, they know that it don't matter what they say. You can't say nothing to break my spirit because she gonna do what she do regardless. And that's how I was to an extent, but at the same time, I didn't live out my high school years to my fullest potential. And I regret that every day. I hated high school. I hated it because I hated how judgmental the kids were. And it's like, y'all not even Y'all not even that popping to me. I don't care how popular you are, how many people you know. You ain't that popping to be talking down on other people. And you know what I'm saying? And of course, when you young, sometimes you get caught up in the gossip and stuff like that. So I gossiped. I'm not just gonna sit here and act like I was perfect. But I never picked on people just because. You know what I'm saying? And even when I was around people that did it, it didn't make me feel good. It made me feel fucked up because it's like, why we mess with people that aren't doing anything? You know what I'm saying? So when I was in high school, I started realizing that the people that I was hanging with, they wasn't really good people to be hanging with. So I spent a lot of time alone, and I had, people that was friends with me here and there, but I couldn't wait to get out of high school because I couldn't stand the people that I was in school with. I couldn't stand the way they treated me. And honestly, I wish I would have punched on some people. I wish I would have had the confidence to fuck some people up because that's what they deserved. Yeah. I mean, we grown now. So I ain't about to catch no charge for nobody at this grown age, but it's just fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And especially, a lot of y'all bitches got kids. So, I don't wish that on y'all kids, but don't be surprised if somebody bullying your kids the way you tried to bully me and other people. Okay? And people take advantage of that. They feel like because you don't do nothing back, that you pussy. I guess I'm pussy. To a lot of people, I am pussy. It's okay. I could be pussy all day. I'm not angry. I don't have anger like y'all bitch do. And my anger that I do have, I don't take it out on people. Go and do the work. Do the self-work. That's what y'all just need to do. Because y'all bitches go from angry kids to angry teens to angry adults. And y'all breed more people like yourself. And the trauma has to stop somewhere. Whatever you went through at your home is unfortunate. But it wasn't my fault that you was going through what you was going through. I had my own stuff that I was dealing with. And then I had to come to school and deal with these bitches. And deal with fake friends that's acting like my friend, that's still trying to act like they my friend to this day. And they don't really fuck with me because of how you act. Right, so let's get into this. I'm going in the deep end. I'm starting to, because a lot of this stuff is bringing up stuff that I went through in school, and it's stuff I shouldn't have had to go through that, but I did, and I made it though. So it's all good. So Moesha season 1, episode 2 starts out with Mo saying, Ashley, who is head of the cheerleading squad, has really been on Mo's tip about trying out for the cheerleading squad. But Mo is not that into cheerleading. And neither are the women that she admires. She says, can you imagine Zora Neale Hurston doing a split? Or Madam Cutie shaking pom-poms? Or her girl Maya Angelou yelling, push him back, way back. She doesn't think so. And she certainly doesn't see it for her. For she is the woman of the new millennium, and she ain't with it. Then you know the theme song. Then the scene goes to the kitchen. Mo, Miles, and Hakeem are sitting at the table. And Hakeem is tearing his food up like he not even coming up for breath. He's just like do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do. He's trying to bulk up because he's trying out for the basketball team. And Miles says, do you have the skills? Because your game is weak, bruh. Then the phone rings and Dee picks up the phone. And it's Ashley, again, the head of the cheerleading squad. And she wants to speak to Mo, signals to Dee that she isn't there. And Dee puts on blast. Dee says she has to learn how to do her own line. So basically, Dee was like, oh yeah, Mo's here. Now Mo's waving that she's not here. And, she was like, come on, Dee, you couldn't just, she's like, nah, you got handle your own stuff. They ain't got nothing to do with me. And then Mo says, Dee acts as, she says, I thought y'all was cool. And Mo is like, we are cool, but I'm not interested in becoming a cheerleader. And that's what she wants me to do. And I don't want to do it. She's saying, as a millennium woman, she would not be defined by traditional female roles. And Dee says, well, she was a cheerleader. And Mo says, that's my point. And Frank asks D to scramble him up some eggs. And she says, not in this millennium. And her and Mo share a moment. They give each other the hand clap or whatever. Then Frank shows D a family Bible with different family events in it that her mother sent her. They start to look through it. Frank asks if D had a cousin named Deirdre, which is her real name. She asks why, and he says, well, the date says that she's older than him. She tries to snatch the book back and then says, you know what, it's only a year. He asks, well, how long did you know this? How can someone manage to lose a whole year? So my thing is, why are we lying about a year? Like, make it make sense. Like, I know back then they were like real, like, ain't know about certain things, but it's just like, girl, you're a year older than him. Who cares? It's not that serious. Now I can see if you was 10 years older than him and you want to lie because, you know, a lot of men act like they don't like older women, but they do. But they don't. They do because they know that she might come with experience and she is going to have her together. But they don't because she has it together. And a lot of times when you dealing with somebody that's your age, it's a lot of stuff that they're not going to go for. You can't hit them with the okie doke. Now, a lot of these women, no matter the age, you can hit with the okie doke. We know that. There's women out there that's falling for stuff all the time. But a lot of times, women that are of a certain age, they're going to come to you correct. And they expect you to do the same. So if you don't want to be held accountable for things, you date somebody that's younger than you that don't know shit, that's still learning. So you kind of manipulate the situation. That's what they say. I don't know. I like people that's older than me. So anyway. So where we at? So Frank starts making jokes and then, you know, saying how old she was and stuff like that, you know, being corny. And then Dee says, you just earn yourself a nice little vacation on that cot tonight. So Frank tries to play it off. Then the scene goes to the den. And Hakeem is drinking what he thinks is cow milk. And he says to Endel, feels like he's growing already. Endel says, well, goat milk does do the body good. And he's, you know, kind of like gags because goat milk. A lot of that, those alternatives weren't really that popular back then. But, you know, I feel like in the mid-90s, that's when more healthy people, health conscious people, you know, the vegetarian types, the vegan types were starting to come along. And Dell was kind of like that. She had like a lot of vegetarian options on her menu. And like in the later episodes, she made tofu pot pie and stuff like that. They wasn't hip to that. They wasn't privy to that stuff back then. They like, cause in a lot of stuff back then, like when I, cause I'm a vegetarian. You know, I've been plant-based for a while now. And it's so interesting to hear about the foods that they had to eat back then because they didn't have a lot of stuff for vegetarians. And because that's what they was called, vegetarians back then. Now it's vegan. But back then it was vegetarian. So a lot of the stuff that they had didn't have seasoning. It just wasn't like it is today. Today, you could eat a vegan meal or vegetarian meal and you would never know. Back then, you could probably tell. So I love to hear about the different stuff like that they used to eat back then and what they had to, different little meals that they had to come up with because they didn't have a lot. And I also, my cousin used to drink soy milk. And I was lactose intolerant growing up. So me going to my cousin's house, she had like digestive issues as well. And I believe we got it from our grandmother. Yeah. So she would eat like a lot of stuff. She would eat like a lot of processed foods. But one thing that I remember is she used to always drink soy milk. And I started drinking soy milk because of her. I didn't know what soy milk was until I was going at her cousin. She's drinking this, so I want to drink it too because I tried it at her house and it's good. So that's how I started drinking soy milk, and then I realized that soy milk was doing more harm to me than good because it's, the synthetic soy milk. It's not the real soy milk from the actual soybeans. It's soy milk and all these other additives in it, and it was irritating my stomach. And I didn't understand why I was getting stomach aches after I ate cereal with soy milk. But anyway, I'm going on to a rant. And Dell was like, it looks like you already grown a goatee. And then Hakeem walks away. He didn't think it was funny. So the scene switches over to one of the tables that the girls are sitting at. Ashley comes by and says hello to Mo and says hello to Niecy, and then shades Kim. Ashley tries to remind Mo about cheerleading tryouts, and Kim interrupts to give Ashley a compliment. Ashley says, so she was like, nice dress. And she was like, they don't sell your size. Like, looking at her, disgusting. And Ashley is being played by Gabrielle Union. So Ashley says, oh, today's the last day for cheerleading tryouts. Mo says she's going to pass. Ashley kind of begs Mo and says she'd be wonderful if she has the look. And Mo says, well, what look is that? And she says, perfect like me. And Mo sarcastically says, no one can look as perfect as you. Then they talk a little bit more, and Ashley walks off. Kim tries to get her attention before she walks off by giving her a compliment, and Ashley says, I wish I could give you a compliment in return. In a real crazy, condescending way. And Kim is still like, kissing her behind and stuff like that, because Kim wants to be on the team, period. So Mo peeps it. She's like, are you okay, Kim? And Kim asks if she could speak to Mo in private. Niecy asks why. She says, because you want to take it public. And then Niecy says, she just going to tell me later anyway, and walks away. So Kim tells Mo the reason why she was kissing homegirl's butt was because she wanted to be a cheerleader. Mo was like, why? She's like, I just want to be the Black Paula Abdul. And Mo says, well, girl, if that's what you want to do. Sorry for the light change. I was trying to use the computer screen, but it keeps going in and out, and I'm tired of the light going in and out. So anyway, Mo was like, if that's what you want to do, Kim says, I want us to do it. So Mo gives her pushback, like, I'm not really into that. But Kim is like, please, Mo, please, I want us to do it together because, you want your, that's what you do with your friend. Y'all try out things together, and, if you like it, you stick with it. If not, you don't stick with it. So Mo was like, all right, cool, whatever. I'll try it for you. Well, she says she'll think about it, but she ends up doing it anyway. So Mo sits at the bar, and Dale asks what's wrong. And Mo has an annoyed look on her face, and she tells her what's going on. Then Mo assumes that she will be picked for the cheerleading squad and Kim won't. And it will be embarrassing and devastating, and their friendship will be ruined because Mo was like, I'm the perfect looking one and you look like how you look. And they're definitely not going to pick you, but they're going to pick me. And that's going to mean that, our friendship might end because, you're going to be jealous that they picked me and they didn't pick you, and you're the one that really wants to do it. So Mo is full of herself. You know what I'm saying? So, and Dale convinces her to go. And the next scene is them at practice. So Ashley lays down the ground rules about what's expected of the cheerleaders. They're involved in the community. They feed the homeless, they plant trees, and they recycle. A girl walks out. She ain't with all that, volunteering for the homeless and recycling. She ain't with all that. Then she says, you must have a B average to qualify. And another girl walks out because obviously she got a D average. So she ain't going to be able to be on the team if she. So Ashley walks up to Mo and says that she's excited that she showed up. And then says in a shady way, why don't you come to the side where the girls who are going to make the squad are? So she grabs Kim's arm and say, "Let's go, Kim." And then Ashley kind of makes the face like, "I didn't say grab her, but okay, whatever." They all perform the best that they got and they feel confident that they will be picked for the team. Then they do their solos. Kim performs. They were rocking with her until she fell. Kim gets embarrassed and they laugh at her and she leaves. Mo kind of looks back at them and then she goes after Kim. So what Mo said kind of came true, but it wasn't in the way that she probably thought it would be, but she somehow knew that Kim was going to embarrass herself and they was going to laugh at her and make her feel bad and stuff like that. So the next scene goes to them being back at school the next day. Walking to the list to see if they made it. Kim is confident that she hasn't been picked and that Mo has. Mo says, well, if you're not a cheerleader, I'm not a cheerleader either because I only did it for you anyway. So Kim doesn't want to look at the list and they going back and forth. No, let me look. No, let me not look. No, let me look. No. And then she was like, you look for me. And then she was like, no, I'm going to look. I'm going to look. And to Kim's surprise, she made it. And she's excited. But to Mo's surprise, she didn't make it. And she's like perplexed. Like, what the hell's going on? I just knew I was going to make it because I got the body. I got the looks. I got everything that they want. How can she make it and I didn't? So Mo tried to play it off. Kim is surprised that Mo didn't make it either. But Mo's trying to play it off like, I only did it for you anyway. But Mo is pissed. Because she like, I just knew that I was going to make it. But it's like, Mo, you were the one saying the whole time that you didn't even want to join it. So why are you pissed? You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't even faze you because this is something that you didn't want to do in the first place. So, you know, I'm confused, man. Like, what's going on? So she says, congrats to Kim. But like I said, she walks, so she's pissed. You got to go to class. She, in her head, like, how did this happen? So the scene switches back to the Mitchell home and Frank asks Dee if she's still mad about the jokes that he made earlier. Dee says, no, she's too old and senile to remember that far back. So Frank says he was just messing with her and gives her a gift. So Dee gets all excited just to find out it's a bottle of Geritol. So Geritol is basically like a liquid vitamin supplement for older people. It was originally marketed for iron, poor blood, and, you know, it's a source of energy for older adults or whatever. So Frank starts cracking up and Kim comes to the door. So she tells the family that she made it to the squad. So Dee congratulates her and says she was on the team when she was in school. So Frank teases her and says, wasn't the chair Kunta Kinte? He's our man. If he can't do it, no one can. And they start laughing and then Dee goes like this and Frank ends up going into the kitchen. So Mo comes downstairs and Kim asks for her Montel Jordan CD back because she's working on the chair. And Dee gets excited like, girl, okay, show me the chair. So Kim is ready to show him. And Mo was like, no, let's not. And she was like, no, it's okay, I'll show him. And then she was like, no, let's not and say we did. Then rushes Kim out the door. So then Dee asks if everything is all right. And she's like, she has better things to do than to listen to some sophomoric cheer. And goes upstairs with an attitude. Dee and Miles look at each other and says her braids must be too tight. Then the scene switches to the den. Hakeem is eating per usual. And Dell asks what's up with all the food. Hakeem says, and Dell says what's up with all the food because Hakeem didn't make the basketball team. And he says, well, this is not for me, this is for Mo. And Mo is over there looking annoyed. So Endell asks, why is the food in front of you and not in front of Mo? And Hakeem says, because she's depressed and in denial. My rubber band just popped, so don't mind my hair. Oh, gosh, bruh. So, Dell asks Mo why she's upset. And she heard that Kim made the squad, so she like, well, you should be happy that Kim made the squad because remember you only did it for Kim. So Hakeem laughs and says, yeah, but they didn't want Mo. And Mo says, well, the basketball team didn't want you, and they start to argue. And Dell tells them to stop and tells Mo she should be happy for her friend. And Dell says Hakeem should have took the towel boy position they offered because she's seen his game and his game was weak, bruh. And Dell walks off. So Mo peeps the cheerleading squad coming towards the table, and she tries to get Hakeem so they could leave. Hakeem wants to stay because he like, the cheerleaders here, I'm trying rub, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get somebody's number. So Ashley switched up on Mo. Like, she started acting a little distant towards Mo. Like, you know what I'm saying? She was, just the day before, she was acting like that towards Kim. So it was a little weird. Like, bitch, you knew me before. Now you act like you don't know, bitch. Okay, cool. So Ashley asked Mo if they could move so her and the cheerleaders could sit down. Kim says, nah, that's my girl. Like, we could all sit here together. Just so they started pulling up chairs or whatever. And Mo is irritated and she's like looking like that and rolling her eyes and whatever. So Ashley says to Mo, she's sensing a little bitterness. And, you know, you could try out next year. You know that, right? So Mo says no, because next year she'll be on the student council voting to abolish cheerleading. And they look concerned like, girl, why are you tripping? So Hakeem is rubbing his fingers like Birdman. And he's like, y'all having any troubles with their handstands? Because he wants to help. And Kim says, well, I came up with a chair. And Ashley chimes in like, yeah, it's all to the good. So they performing a little bit. We don't need to attack because your team is booty whack. Your booty. Hey, hey, your booty. Hey, hey. Then they ask Mo what she thinks of it. And she says, it's booty. Then the jocks come to the table and invite Kim to a house party. So Kim is like, and she's like, you know, I'm gonna only come if my girl Mo gets invited. And the jock is like, who's Mo? Like, I don't even see Mo. I'm asking you. I need you to come. So the jock basically asks Kim to come, and all the cheerleaders is gonna come because the other jocks are gonna be there too. So they get excited. And they say they're going to start getting ready for Eric's party, picking out outfits, discussing what they're going to do with their hair and etc. And then Mo asks if they could talk about something else other than dumb cheerleading stuff. And Kim says, well, hey, what's up with the dumb stuff? Mo says, oh, I'm just thinking out loud. But Kim wouldn't understand. The loud part she would understand, but the thinking part would be a chore. Hakeem like hits her for being rude, like, dang, like, why are you tripping? Kim says the only chore would be her with her weak ramen so. Then she mocks her. They call me Mo, I'm good to go. Nah. And puts her finger in the face. And Mo says, you're right. I'm being too harsh. But you gotta admit, no cheerleader is ever gonna cure cancer or solve world hunger. Then she mocks Kim and says, unless your booty, hey, your booty goes on a diet and leaves. Now, why would you say that? It's something about Mean Girls and how they like to brag about how they have this and have that and so much intelligence and so much smarts and so much popularity and the looks and the this and the that. But they always have to overcompensate because inside they're feeling something missing. So any little thing that they have over someone else, they're going to use that against them. And Kim was like a free spirit. She was a little messy, but she still was like an artist. You know what I'm saying? She had like that. And I'm not this, that's not to say that Mo didn't have talents and she wasn't an artist either, but Mo was approved like her dad. So it was a lot of things that she's like, looking down at instead of embracing it. And it's just like Kim, in my opinion, looked better than Mo. Mo was not ugly, but neither was Kim. And because she was a little thicker, that didn't, to me, didn't mean anything because Kim was still getting guys. You know what I'm saying? But because the show was based on Moesha, she got more of the attention from the males than Kim did. And they always try to make Kim look like the crazy sidekick. And I just, yeah, justice for Kim. So, Kim is looking embarrassed, and the cheerleaders, like, they don't even, I mean, Mo walked off, so it's not like, they could have said anything in her defense, but they didn't even try to console her. They just looking at each other like, damn, like, y'all all supposed to be on the team. Why the f nobody try to console her or make her feel better about herself? You know what I'm saying? Because she did make it over Mo. So I felt like they should have had her back more as her teammates. So it switches back to the Mitchell home. Frank gives Dee flowers and asks if she forgive him, and then they kiss. Dee says dinner is ready and gives Frank a glass of wine, it looks like, and tells him to take a seat. Frank tells Miles, because Frank think he's so smooth, and he really not. He's smooth enough, but he really ain't that smooth. So Frank whispers to Miles, take notes. If you ever having a riff with your lady, just give her some flowers. She gonna be on you. You know what I'm saying? So Dee comes to Frank with his plate, and she got the lid over it, and it looks all fancy and stuff like that. And he says, oh, are we having lobster, babe? And Dee says, it's something special. I prepared for my baby. And she puts, the napkin across his chest so he doesn't get store butter, garlic butter on his shirt from the lobster. And he goes to take off the lid, and he sees a bottle. You thought you had lobster, didn't you, nigga? You thought you had some steak? No, you got a bottle. Since you want to play games to give me a bottle of Geritol. Miles says he knew about it because Dee told him to take notes as well. And I always loved Miles and Dee's relationship because Miles was, obviously, he probably remembered bits and pieces of his mom, but he was too young to remember his mom. So Dee was his mom. That was the mother figure that he grew up to know and respect and love. So I always loved their relationship. So they laughing and giggling, whatever. And then Mo comes barging through the door, annoyed, and Hakeem follows her. Mo tries to go upstairs and tells Hakeem she'll talk to him later. He says, no, I'm going to talk to you right now. So Hakeem checks Mo for tripping on Kim. And Mo said it was Kim making it personal because she was talking to all the cheerleaders. Hakeem says he thought Mo didn't care about cheerleading and that she only tried out for Kim because Kim was her best friend. And Mo says she doesn't, and she did, and Kim is her best friend. And Hakeem clocked her tea and said, oh, she was your best friend until she started coming up, until she started taking a little bit of the spotlight, until she became more than just your cheerleader. Hakeem says you need to check yourself because you're bugging. Like, why would you do that in front of all them people? Why would you embarrass her like that? Like, come on now. And that's big for Hakeem because Hakeem don't even really mess with Kim like that. But Hakeem still, I'm glad Hakeem called her out on her BS because it seemed like the girls, and until like the later season, they didn't really start calling her out for her BS. They were kind of like scared to address her because Mo was so like, she was such a... So any little thing that went against what she was saying, she felt like, you were up. You know what I'm saying? So Hakeem says you need to check yourself, and Mo says you need to get out my house. Corny, corny. You only kicking him out because you realize that he's right, and you don't want to be checked, and you feel like you right with everything you do. So that's why you kicked him out. And then Hakeem is like, all right, I don't stay nowhere. I ain't want it. See you at breakfast tomorrow, because they gonna be cool again. They just, in this season, they like brother and sister, which is weird because they date later. But anyway, so Mo is looking like, damn, she's okay that she did that, but Hakeem made her feel bad because he was right. He was right. Mo felt like because of her physical looks that she would make the squad, even insinuating that because of Kim's weight, she possibly would not make it. And the way the cheerleaders was treating her and the way, Ashley was treating her, we didn't think that she would make it either. But the team obviously realized that Kim was talented and she was a great dancer and she would be a good asset to the team, regardless of her weight. And her weight wasn't even bad. Like, come on now. Like, be for real. Anyway, so the scene goes to the girls in the gym at practice, stretching. Mo sees Kim and says they need to talk about yesterday. And then she's like, what's that on your neck? And Kim was like, oh, that was Eric, so I'm assuming it was a hickey. Like, Kim, be for real. Mo was like, oh, so y'all going out? And Kim is like, no, he only invited me to the party because I was a cheerleader. Like, he wasn't really on me like that. He just liked me because I was a cheerleader, which is how people are sometimes. They don't see you until they see what you can do. You know what I mean? So that's when they want to be on your dick. It's just like, if you wasn't with me shooting in the gym, baby, you need to fall back because I don't want you, because I know you only here because of who I am now, and you need to fall back. So Mo asks, isn't that why you tried out? Because you want to get the niggas? She was like, yeah, and they started laughing. So the girls call Kim because they're about to do their routine, and Kim asks Mo to stick around. And Mo says she wouldn't miss it, and they hug. So they made up. And Mo, is looking like, okay, I see you, girl. Like, bitch, please. I'd be like, girl, you a hater, period. And Kim could have told her about herself, but Kim was humble. And Kim really didn't see it like that. Like, when you love your friend, you love them regardless. And it's crazy because I've always been the Kim in my friendships. Like, I've always seen the best in my friends, and they just didn't see it for me like that. Like, they looked at me as competition. It's like, you shouldn't, I'm supposed to be like your sister damn near, and it's like you looking at me as competition. And even my own siblings sometimes, you know what I'm saying? So it's just it's messed up to be in that position all the time, because you always feel like you being attacked, and it makes you not want to reach your fullest potential, because you want to, it's like you got to dumb yourself down so that other people could feel comfortable. But that, why dumb yourself down and ruin opportunities and not live your life to your fullest potential because of another? I don't understand it. I don't people project so much on you, and it's just like, that's all it is projection. Like, they don't see themselves doing it. They ain't never did it. They always listen to what the doubters would say to them. So they feel like, damn, she's trying to live her life, and they told me I couldn't do it. So let me tell her that she can't do it either, because we the same age, and if I ain't did it, that means I don't think she should do it. And that's weird, because why would you want to do that? It's not my fault that you didn't bypass what the people said and did what you felt like you should do for your life. You know what I'm saying? So it's it's weird to be in that position, and I feel like Kim kind of took that position the whole series. Like they were always like projecting on Kim and making Kim feel like she was having pipe dreams, like she couldn't accomplish what she wanted to do. And Kim, I feel like Kim believed that for a while. But she got to a point where she was like, I'm not about to sit here and keep listening to everybody and, you know, what the naysayers have to say. You know, that was I felt a connection to Kim, and that's why I've always loved Kim, because I've always felt like the Kim in my relationships. So after the episode, you know, as it's closing down, Mo always got to say a poem. So Mo says, the funny thing about friends, you can have one without being one. And that's so true. That's so true. And she says, I'm going to try to be one. Like, girl, okay. It's like, you get an E for effort, I guess. Because you should have been a friend before all this. But you know what? People got to grow. And people got to learn from their mistakes. So, I guess. And then they play, well, they're supposed to play Brandy's song, Best Friend. They play a little bit of it. And then, like, when they, you know how, like, towards the end, they are playing the scene, but then the main character is talking over, like, doing the narration. So that's what they was doing. But they was playing some other random song. And that brought me back to Netflix. When they had Moesha on Netflix, there was a lot of songs that they didn't play because if they play those songs, they have to pay the artist or the person that owns the masters. So I'm like, and I'm watching it on Tubi. I think it's on Tubi and on Pluto, but I'm watching it on Tubi because Tubi, I feel like the commercials are quicker than Pluto. They might be the same, but I don't know. But yeah, so I don't know. That was funny, but this episode just teaches you that sometimes you're gonna have people that encourage you to do stuff and they down with you until you make it, and they don't feel like they've accomplished anything, or they mad because you made it and they didn't make it. So they project and they are mean to you because they're jealous of you. And this happens to a lot of people. When they reach a certain level of success, people start turning on them. Family, your partner could turn on you. It's really scary, especially nowadays. It's like it's always been that way to an extent, but nowadays people have more access to you. So when you posting on social media and things like that, they could be watching you. They'll make fake pages to watch you. You know what I'm saying? And it'll be people that you know. The people that you know trying to tear you down, going to different blogs, making up stories, talking about things that happened when, you know, back when y'all was struggling together or back before you made it. And it's just like, damn, like, that makes you really want to harm somebody, because it's like they kind of feel the same way. They want to harm you too. And it's sad because it's like, damn, like, if you wanted to be down, or you say that, but they don't want to be down with you. They want to have what you have. They don't want you to give them anything. They want what you have. They have, or they don't want you to have it. Be around people that are happy for you and that have the same, or they want the same for you. Because there's people out there that are okay with living the lives that they're living, and they're okay with being happy for their friend that made it. But I hope you enjoyed today's episode of As Adults. And ain't nobody like the other videos, so I don't know. But I'm gonna keep doing them, because eventually somebody gonna want to talk about it, and you know, I'm here, period. I've been wanting to do this. So all right, y'all, later.